Hello, my name is Shawnice, and welcome to my backyard desert garden. It's officially summertime, and we all know what that means: intense heat, blazing sun, and the biggest challenge of them all, keeping our plants alive. In today's video, I'm going to show you everything I do to keep my plants thriving during the hottest parts of the month. From watering routine, shade tips, composting, and the heat-loving plants that I rely on. So let's jump right into it. First up, watering. Timing is everything in the desert. I water early in the morning, usually before 7 a.m. This helps reduce evaporation and gives the roots time to soak up moisture before the sun hits. When you grow plants in the native soil, it's best to deep soak every other day. This is because the native soil dries out very quickly, and if possible, it's better to get a drip irrigation system. Newly planted trees need consistent watering during their first year, just until they get established. If you're a new gardener and you don't have an irrigation system, it's best to skip the overhead watering because this will cause leaf scorch. And even if you have drought-tolerant plants, they still need a deep soak during the hottest parts of the month. This will keep them blooming and looking vibrant. Mulching is my secret weapon. It keeps the soil cool and prevents it from drying out too fast. Using mulch is key in the garden, but it does come with its pros and cons. There's many different mulching options that you can use, like straw, wood chips, pine needles. When you are using mulch for your vegetables, you want to make sure that the mulch does not have any chemicals like herbicide. You can do this by testing it out in one area of your garden or run grow bag. If it affects your plants in any way, it's best to choose a different option. I personally like to use the straw, which doesn't attract a lot of pests. Every desert gardener knows that shade is a game changer. This will prevent your plants from getting fried. It's definitely a good investment and will save you time and money. During the afternoon is the time that the plants receive direct sunlight. And even if you grow heat-tolerant vegetables, they still need shade during the hottest times of the day. And if you have potted plants, now is the time to move them into the shade. And for natural protection, you could plant near taller trees or shrubs. And ever since I placed my sweet potatoes near a purple petunia bush, they've been thriving ever since. And if you're able to, start planting trees. We currently have a beautiful mulberry tree growing in the front of our house. And remember, you're gardening in the desert, so make sure to drink plenty of water, use sunscreen, wear a hat, or carry around an umbrella. In the heat, the soil dries out fast and the nutrients get zapped. That's why summer composting and amending the soil is a must. I usually add organic compost to help soil retain moisture. You can also use worm castings or compost tea for gentle feedings. I planted into compost already, so I really don't need to do all that. Think of compost like giving your soil a cool drink or a snack that will help the plants push through. It's best to avoid over-fertilizing during the extreme heat. This will burn the roots. And if you need to fertilize heavy feeder vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, or cucumber, it's best to use a slow-release fertilizer to prevent the roots from burning. It's currently 110 degrees outside right now. Let me show you my favorite plants that are currently surviving the heat. These plants don't just survive, they bloom and bring color when everything else is wilting. Plants like the pomegranate tree. After a few years of being planted, it'll start producing fruit. We also have a Cape honeysuckle bush, which provides food for the hummingbirds. And although they are common, we have a Mexican purple petunia. This plant has been providing shade for the praying mantises. And it's low maintenance, which is a lot easier for me because I have so much to do in the garden. I also grow pink morning glory bush, which is a bush that turns into a tree. It will bloom all summer and go dormant in the winter. I've been growing vegetables since the beginning of the year. So this is my small variety of summer crops. In a large grow bag, I grow peppers, zucchini. I have sweet potatoes in individual bags. And I'm very proud of my peppers. I grew them from seed this year and they're doing so well. We have cucumbers, some herbs in the back, spearmint, lemon thyme, and so far they are all doing well in this area. My powwow swamp lily is still producing just a little bit, even though it's kind of fried. And I'm so happy because my apricot tree actually survived the summer heat, and it's still growing. And of course, I have my lantana bush. It's fun to trim, attracts pollinators, and provides shade for my chickens. We have a 20-year-old bougainvillea bush. As you can see, it's on its off season, but it's still developing new growth. And even in the summer, I like to support the wildlife in my garden. And you can simply do this by any kind of water dish as long as it's not metal. This will help the beneficial insects in your garden. Bees and other small insects could drown very easily, so always make sure to add pebbles and rocks to make it safer for them to drink water. And don't forget to fill them daily. And if you're worried about mosquitoes, you could always use a solar water pump. Mosquitoes will only lay eggs in stagnant water, so this pump is a game changer. And mulch piles provide the wildlife with shelter. And that's how I keep my desert garden alive during the summer.